Today we'll begin seated, and it'd be wonderful if you have a Thera-band to strengthen your hips. If you don't have one, go ahead and put this on pause and go grab it. If you're ready, have a seat in staff pose, legs straight, muscles engaged towards the bone, hugging the legs together, hands come behind, open the chest and round the back, back and forth. A little cat-cow to warm up the spine. And then placing the hands firmly on the ground behind you with your fingers facing the hips. Bring the shoulder blades strong into the back. Feet come to the floor, and then we're going to lift the hips off the floor and have some tricep push-ups. So just lifting and lowering a little bit. Hips are dipped. Firm the arms without locking the elbows. Breathe out as you lift, in as you lower. Then plant back down in Dandasana. Release the wrist by placing the back of the hands on the floor and slightly round the back. Begin again with the feet on the floor, hands in the same position. This time we'll come up a bit higher if possible, bringing the hips up to the level of the knees. Keep the back body firm, so a sustained engagement of your back muscles. Pulling the heels towards the head to awaken the hamstrings. Then lower down, keeping the knees bent. Let's place the hands on the shin and round the back, stretching those very muscles you were just engaging. And then third time, option to go back to the first or second movement, or move with straight legs into Purvottanasana, which is east side opening. So bring the hips away from the floor, press the ball of the foot towards the floor. Lift the heart with the shoulder blades strong on your back, and either leave the chin into the throat or lower the head back if your neck is comfortable. Deep breaths all along the way. Come forward, place the back of the hands on the ground to release the wrists, gentle flexion of the spine. Then interlace the fingers and twirl the wrists, once again releasing that joint. Very excellent for strengthening the wrist bones. Now let's come into bound ankle or Baddha Konasana. You may want to sit upon a block or a blanket, placing the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open wide. Sit nice and tall to begin with. Allow the pelvis to rotate anteriorly, so you're drawing the pubic bone down and the lower back in. Be aware of your sensations and come to those first points of stretch in the hips. Gently round the back, ease your way into this pose. Breathe deeply into the sides and back of your rib cage. Perhaps reaching the hands more forward at times, releasing down, holding that stretch point, then walking back up. Take a breath, upright position. Bringing the knees back together, remove the block or blanket out from underneath your hips. Take your Thera-band and bring it around the top of the thighs, just above the knees, about 6 inches, and then roll down on the ground. Place yourself in bridge position. We'll anchor both feet firmly, and then take the arms overhead, breathing in and back down. Breathing out. Again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lower the hands down by your side. One more time, take the arms overhead and lift the hips simultaneously. Bring the arms down, but leave the hips up. So feel the glutes engage, the back muscles engage, shoulder blades lifting the heart. And then press out and out on the band and release to center. So it's out, in, breath with the movement. Breathe out, in, out. So feel how you're strengthening the abductors on the side of the hips. Pressing gently against that band, against that resistance to strengthen those muscles that help stabilize our pelvis and our gait. So we're strong and steady in all of our walking. Pause for a moment and roll the spine back down onto the floor. Remove the Thera-band. You can always do more, or if that feels comfortable, repeat several times. Come into a bridge pose without the band. Interlace the hands behind your back and take the right ankle to the left thigh. And then we'll pulsate, lifting and lowering the hips just slightly, working that glute and hamstring of the left leg, dropping the right knee down at the same time. Then bring the right knee to the chest and then extend the right leg as far as you can and return it to the floor. Lowering the spine back to the ground, let's release by bringing the knees into the chest. Squeeze, maybe the head comes to the knees as well. Then bringing the feet back into bridge, rock it out a little bit, and then coming back up into that bridge position. You may want to grab the outer edge of your mat, helping to bring the shoulder blades together, or if you have the mobility, hands clasped behind your back, bring the left ankle to the right thigh and pulsate, lifting and lowering the hips in small increments. So working the glutes, working the spinal muscles, and lowering the left knee to get that opening in the front of the hip. Now, knee to chest and leg to the sky. Just notice if that's available and play with it. Then from bridge, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And let's release with knees into chest, head to knees. Straightening the left leg, hold on to the right shin. Pull it in and get a nice stretch through the hip joints. Take your right arm inside the right leg. If you can't reach your foot, just wrap your arm to the outside of the calf. If you can reach the foot, grab the outside of the foot, or you can take 2 fingers to the toe. The straight leg on the ground stays strong and extended. Your lifted leg will come out to the side. If you can straighten the leg further, do so. Otherwise, a bent knee is fine. Really feel into that stretch point across the hips and into the legs and find your just right positioning. Releasing the pose, reverse your way out, coming back into that bent knee position. Then drawing the left leg up off the floor, place the right ankle on the left thigh. And gently pulsate, bringing the knee in a little bit further and away, going deep into the hip rotators. Let's take the left foot down and straighten the right leg. Left knee now comes into the chest. Right leg stays steady and strong. Take a few deep breaths in wind relieving pose, and then wrap the hand around the outside of the left shin and press the heel of the foot towards the sky in an inverted lunge position. You may want to grab the outside of the foot if you have more mobility, or even grasp the big toe with the first 2 fingers, and then possibly extend the foot and straighten through the leg in hand to foot pose. Again, each of these options are options, so feel what's best for your body today. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Bring the knee back to center. Then place the left ankle over the right thigh. Draw the right knee in towards your chest, taking that deep stretch into your left hip rotators. Gently pulsating in and out, or holding and sustaining the stretch. Breathe through the motion. Then release the right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor, arms open. Let both knees open away from each other, feet touching. Give a little stretch to the inner thighs, perhaps laying your hands inside the thighs just to suggest. Don't push down with the hands. Release the neck. Then bring the knees back together. And release the right knee down, gently pulling back on the left leg to get a deeper stretch. Then roll all the way over, left leg down. Feeling a little deeper stretch on the left inner thigh. Now bringing the knees together, let's walk the feet a little bit wider apart, shoulder width for double knee drop, arms open in a T, drop both knees to one side. Top leg comes up, roll across the sacrum to the other side. So let this be a gentle, repetitive movement. Releasing side to side, letting your head roll opposite the knees. Relaxing the lower back, relaxing the hips, giving a gentle twist, and breathing your way through the movement. Now allow yourself to rest on the floor, arms out by your side, legs straight, perhaps something under your knees if you need it. It's now time to relax in Shavasana. Let your breath fall into its own natural rhythm. Release the weight of the body into the ground. Bringing the hands together at the heart. Place the feet back on the floor. Take a breath. Roll to one side. Gently push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Sukhasana. Feeling the results of your practice. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Hands come to the heart, Anjali Mudra, and Namaste.